Oh no, alright. Hey, how's it everybody? Ooh, it's right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm gonna say, oh, you know what, dude? I don't know what time it is any place anymore. I'm in the middle of a sneeze attack. Hold on one sec. So, alright, if it's 5 p.m. West Coast time now, and we just jumped ahead, and it was 3 p.m. in Hawaii before. Does that mean it's 2 p.m. in Hawaii? Oh my god, you guys. We're gonna get there. Pardon me, hold on. Wow. Okay, so we are talking about broadcast quality today. Nothing but broadcast quality today. Today is yes. Today we are brought to you by paper towels as Kleenex and time is an illusion. Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? I do, because I wanted you here at this time, and lots of you guys got here at this time, and that's a good thing. So if I'm doing my math right, let's just start all over again. Hey, how's it everybody? It's right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time. It is 9 p.m. on that there East Coast and 8 p.m. for... No. Help. It's 8 p.m. for the East Coast and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Saturday, and wow, this is literally the epitome of how my day has gone. Yes, brought to you by Itchy and Sneezy. Picola T, you don't even know. You don't even know. Well, apparently you do, because right before this stream, I had to go take a shower. I was so itchy, and oh look, I was so itchy. I'm still itchy. I was so itchy, I just had to go take a shower. And then I come out, and I make some coffee, which, by the way, a totally different story of chaos. And then I come here, and, well, you see what the flying fork it is that just happened. I don't even know what happened, but what I do know is we're going to watch the Black Cat intro, I'm going to blow my nose, and then I'm going to come back and say hello to everybody who's here, because I didn't do that yet, and, well, you saw why. Alright, here we go. Alright, so in the UK, it is midnight 07. On the Central Time District, it is 7:07, which means, if my math is right, the East Coast is 8, not 9. And, let's see here. Yeah, y'all realize Saturday doesn't have to count anymore since spreadsheets do that for me. I've completely lost count of how I can count counts. Actually, though, to tell you the truth, though, today has been nothing but a chaotic oh, gross. What is that on my chin? That was from me blowing my nose. We don't talk about that. Anyway, I have been trying to make the perfect cup of coffee. This is my third cup of coffee, and I have yet to actually make my coffee right this morning, okay? And I know it's not this morning, but it might as well be at this point. 3 different times did I mess up my coffee, and so finally the third time I didn't even bother to like try and make it right. I just went with the F up and carried on like a wayward son. There'll be peace when it's all drank up and gone is all I can think of, all I can hope. But right now it's a full cup of coffee. Probably can't see that. Full cup of coffee. And we know that there is not any peace going on right here in this area. So, Mama Sean pointing out that Arizona and Washington are now in lockstep. We have matching times. And Rick, single cup makers are hard to use. It's not even that. What it is I bought 2 different kinds of coffee last night at the grocery store. you had to buy 2 to get the cheap price. So I bought 2 different varieties of Peet's coffee that I'd never tried before. One of them called the Luminosa blend and one of them called Alameda Morning. And I had a feeling that Alameda Morning would be up my alley because it's similar roast level that I'd had it from Peet's before. But the Luminosa brand was a little bit lighter roast, a little bit brighter. So I thought that I would try that this morning. And I realized, ooh, I'm not a really big fan. So I made the coffee, took a sip, and realized, oh, I probably don't like this coffee plain. I'm probably going to want to mix the Alameda Morning with the Luminosa to get a little bit of a darker kick in this, because it was a little too light, I thought. So I was like, okay. So bummer that I don't like this coffee, but I'm still going to drink it, I tell myself. And so then I go to the cupboard. No, not the cupboard. Go to the fridge and I pour in the half and half. Only after I'm done pouring in the half and half, I realize I poured in milk. And I don't like milk in my coffee. I like half and half in my coffee. So I was like, fine, I'll drink this. So I drank half of it and I was like, this is really crummy coffee. How about I make myself a good cup of coffee? So I went back and made myself a second cup of coffee. This time with the mix. Did I mix? Well, sort of, yes, okay. But part of my routine of making my coffee is heating the coffee mug with hot water before I put the coffee in it. And so I did that part, but then I forgot to empty the coffee mug of the water in it. So when I put the single cup maker over the coffee cup that already had water in it, I think you already know what happened. Yeah, suddenly there's water and coffee flowing out of my cup. At which point I'm cursing, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna get a fresh filter. And anyway, so chaos has reigned in this coffee, and hopefully tomorrow it will be a better situation. But while I'm sipping on this, I'm gonna say hello to Shock. Thank you for letting everybody know what time it is. Clearly we need the help, and by we I mean me. Hey, Terry in Scotland, good to see you. You were first in line, and one of the only ones without the time change, other than Mama Sean. Mama Sean, also good to see you. Macola T, super stoked that you are delayed out of SFO. You might be able to stay for most of tonight's stream. Excellent, excellent. I'm drinking Alameda Morning while you're in San Francisco's airport. My coffee and you came from such a close area together. Not really, but that's okay. Rick's in the house saying aloha to everybody. Darlene is here laughing at me, sneezing. Let's see here. Who else do we have besides Mama Sean? Because I saw Mama Sean earlier, but still not besides Mama Sean. Thank you, Mama Sean, for being here. And we've got Shock again. So it looks like we have got most of the regulars here. And oh, Puzzy Cat. There you go. Good to see you, Puzzy. I don't know if you were around last night for a little bit of the cinema, but I've seen since the last time I saw you, I've seen Leo twice. So Leo is fine and dandy like sour candy. He is in and out of the house, just polite as whatever, and making himself at home as much as he wants to be at home as per the usual. And yes, Terry, I could F up a cup of coffee. I did, apparently. And Terry in Scotland, thank you so much for the 1,000 biddies. And let's see here. Well, you got up an hour late and coffee. Exactly. I don't know. I just don't even know. All I know is I'm really glad that I have this coffee in my hand. So I'm also really glad that you guys are all here and that you guys knew when to be here. And so, you don't think you have the other channel on Twitch? Well, you just go map Statter. I mean, you can just go there. Even if you're not subscribed, you can go there. But that's okay. We watched a cute movie, though. I don't remember what it was, but it was a cute... Oh, we watched Best in Show last night, so that was a cute little movie. And, and speaking of movies, y'all, I still have the next... all of the movies in March have yet to be determined, but I can tell you right now, the movie that we're going to be watching the first weekend of April isn't going to be a movie at all. And yes, Best in Show is the movie we watched. And yes, Pussycat Map Statter. You can just type that in and find me when I'm on. Because none of the things, like, unlike the Mad Statter channel that saves stuff for 2 weeks, I have the Map Statter turned off, so it does not save anything. We don't want any record of what it is we do on that channel now, do we? So if I'm live on that channel, there will be something on the screen. But if I'm not on that channel, there won't be anything from previousnesses, because it's a secret what we do there. Alrighty then. So, nefarious activities, exactly. Now, here's something that, if I forget and take advantage of, or take for granted. Oh yeah, actually, going back. So going back. On April 4th or 5th, I'm not sure what day it is, the Saturday of the first week of April, we're not going to be watching a movie because we're going to be watching Merry Monarch. That is the weekend of the Merry Monarch Festival, and as I've done the last 2, maybe 3 years, I will be streaming on Saturday and Sunday if I'm allowed, if I can find the live stream. There's a lot of ifs. The intention is on Saturday and Sunday of that weekend, I will be streaming the halal competitions. I'm not going to be streaming on Friday. 3 sets of 6-hour streams is just too much for me. So Friday, when they're doing the singular hula dancing for Miss Aloha, I'm not going to stream that. It doesn't mean you can't watch it, just means I'm not going to be streaming that. But for the final 2 days, the 2 days for the hula halaus, I will be streaming that Saturday and Sunday. So if you decide that you want to come in and watch the Merry Monarch, I will try to be doing it on Twitch and on YouTube. I have a feeling YouTube will put the kibosh on it. YouTube has gotten a lot more savvy as the years progress in regards to these types of things. But YouTube will not let me. Yeah, I have a feel. I feel like last year it got cut off. Like, I need to go review my notes from last year. I think last year, I know that the year before I was able, I know that the first year that I did it, I was able to do it, and I was able to keep it up online for several weeks. But then YouTube took it down. I got in trouble for copyright violations. I had to jump through hoops. The next year, I streamed it, and I didn't put it up for, I streamed it, but I didn't put it up for future viewing, and that was fine. And then the year after that, i.e. last year, if I remember correctly, a couple hours into the first day of the stream, YouTube was like, no can, and clipped it, stopped it, halted. So I'm 90% sure we're going to have to be on Twitch only. That being said, I might give it a whirl. We'll see, I don't know. Hey, Kevin Stokes, good to see you. Just stopping by to quickly say hi. Awesome, good to know. I'm letting everybody know the vague plans for the beginning of April's cinema. And actually, not just cinema, the chatter show too, y'all. The first weekend in April this year is the Merry Monarch. And so, as per the usual the last several years, I'm not going to have a chat show on Sunday because I will have been streaming. And I will be streaming, I think. And I'm not going to have I'm not going to have the cinema on that Saturday because we'll be streaming the festival, if can. Now, if it turns out that we can't, even on Twitch, then I guess we'll go back to the usual. But, and let's see here, maybe create a new YouTube account and let them take that one down, maybe Hula Statter. Oddly enough, Rick, I do have a second YouTube account, and there is something to be said for that idea. I will absolutely think about that and consider that. because actually I hadn't even thought about that. I don't remember what my other YouTube channel's name is, but I think I can find it. And, but Jacques is probably right. They will have a process in place by now, and it would not be worth it. So I do think that, there is some, there is an increased element of risk this year for this, this broadcast, which unfortunately, which really is unfortunate, because to me, having a teleparty is all that we're really doing with the Hula Festival. And though Pecola T is like, I'm not the one with the knowledges. You're right, Pecola T, you're not the one with the knowledges, but you do have some knowledge, and it has been helpful. But eMusic is the one. eMusic and Keone Nunez, when he has showed up for the Hula stream, the absolute depth and breadth of learning that we get to have with the wisdom accumulated from these folks is wonderful. I have learned so much every time I've watched the Mary Monarch with the group of people that ends up showing up. And that's what I think is so great about doing the live stream, is it's a little portal for everyone to get some knowledge and do some learnings and things, and for those teachers to do some teaching. So yeah, we will be doing that in theory, if can, or if let, I suppose. I can, we'll say if they let. And, all right, Chuck, Twitch has been building things out a lot. One of my friends is a DJ, and now there's an actual DJ program to address licensing, so they are for sure on that ugly on slime mold. Got it. Okay, all right, yeah, well, I don't like your reality, but I probably won't substitute it for my own either, so, all right. Okay, so, let's see here. I had other things that I was going to say, but I don't even remember. So, John is forging a bottle opener on your other channel. Awesome. There you go. Shock, you feel like the parent of a teenager here? Well, not altogether a false analogy. You have the wisdom of the interwebs that I don't yet have. I'm forging ahead into my grown-up internet world, and you have way more wisdom in that realm than I do. So you bring up a good point. Yeah, I'm grounded. I'll be grounded if I don't listen to her. Exactly. All right, you guys. So this week, I did something that I don't normally do. But here we are. I don't know if you're familiar with what's going on in the world, but just so you know, we're actually at war. No, not that one. No, not that other one. No, this one is a war that actually matters. This is a war that is happening on our soils right now. And it's the burger wars of the 2026. I'm telling you right now, the CEOs of all the burger chains have absolutely declared war on one another, and it's the funniest thing ever. All right, so to give you a little bit of a heads up, because I'm gonna go into, I'll tell you where I come in this one, but here's a couple different examples of how the war got started and just where it's going now. So here we go.
All right, the moment of truth.
One small bite for man.
That's a big bite for a big arch.
One giant controversy for the internet. In the past few weeks, social media has been having a whole Big Mac's worth of fun with this video of McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski as he tries to demonstrate his love of the fast food chain's new Big Arch burger. As you can see, he does not exactly take the biggest bite. One commenter even shared a screen grab from this SpongeBob scene where Squidward cautiously tries a Krabby Patty for the first time. Meanwhile, another commenter wrote, somebody said he was eating that burger like he was a contestant on Fear Factor.
I love this product. It is so good.
Kempczinski also refers to the burger as a quote-unquote product multiple times, which commenters also poked fun at for sounding so businesslike. In fact, McDonald's is now also having fun with this attention, sharing a photo to X and saying, "Take a bite of our new product." But did we think the other burger companies would really sit this out? On Monday, Burger King CEO Tom Curtis rolled up his sleeves and got in the kitchen, albeit protected by an apron.
I thought I'd come down to our kitchen here at Wendy's.
And then on Wednesday, oh, what do you know? Wendy's U.S. President Pete Serkin suddenly had a hankering for a Baconator.
Absolutely wonderful.
And he took not one, not two, not three, but 4 bites before washing it down with their signature Frosty. One commenter writing, "My goodness, move aside cola wars of the 80s and 70s. The burger wars of the 2020s are here." And guys, this is the big arch. Got released this week, but what does it taste like? Sorry, too big of a bite. Sorry, guys. Back to you.
All right.
This is just Jumbo Jack. And then can we do another one like in the beginning, how you were keep pointing at it like the put it towards you. Yeah. This is just Jumbo.
Y'all, even Jack took a bigger bite than the flippin' flirpin' CEO of McDonald's. Okay? So, alright, so now you know, first off, if you're hearing people talk about tiny bites, this is where it came from. And if you keep hearing people talking about burgers as product, this is also where it came from. But let me tell you right now, Terry, is it better than a smoky blue sponge burger? Yes, it abso-flippin-lutely is. In fact, I went and had one the other day, and I'm going to show you right now. This is what it looked like, and this is what it looks like when you take a bite. That's what it looks like when you take 4 bites. That's what it looked like in the thing. Hold on, wait. Here, I know what I want to do. Hold on. Automatic manual. Use the keys. Here we go. All right, so my photography skills were based via cell phone, in the dark, in my car, in the McDonald's parking lot, after the drive-thru. If this isn't the real deal, this is how, where, and why you eat fast food burgers. So this is not a gussied up photo shoot by any stretch of the imagination. Look at the debris on my car seat. Look at the darkness of the shadows of the night. Like, there is no fancy, the only lighting I have is the overhead light in my car and then the flash on my cell phone. And frankly, I'm not even sure the flash flashed. So this is not, this is pure what it looks like. There's no fancy editing. There's no filter. There's no photography tricks going on. You've got the burger. You've got the seasoning, or the toasted burger bun. The burger bun has the seeds, both poppy and sesame. I'm going to tell you that burger, even though I did not take a picture of it, I do believe that the buns are toasted. Not necessarily on the top side, but they are warmed. But on the bottom side, there was definitely that crunch of toasted bread. All right, 1 bite. That's right. This is what 1 bite looks like. I took a real bite. You get to see, you've got the cheeses, you've got the crispy onions, you've got the lettuce. You can't really tell, but there's also slivered onions in there. So there's 2 kinds of onions. And then there's the Big Arch sauce. The Big Arch sauce is very similar to the Big Mac sauce, only way tangier. Like, so tangy. Like, so tangy, my face, like, kind of made a funny face when I ate it plain. I was like, oh, you know how when you get a weird eye twitch because something's tangy? It was that kind of tangy. And so then, that was like 3 or 4 bites in. This burger is flippin' huge. After this amount, I closed the box and said, I have to put this away for later. I can't eat this yet. Now, finish. It's too big. But how was it? It was actually, it was a $10.49 burger. With tax, it ended up being $11.57. It is without a doubt an expensive ass burger for McDonald's. On the other hand, if I'm going to spend $10.50 on a burger at McDonald's, it better be a burger like that. It was two quarter-pound patties, so probably by the time the patties are cooked, you're looking at 3 ounces, 3.5 ounces. So we're looking at between 6 and 7 ounces of meat on the 2 patties. You've got the 3 white cheddar cheeses. The cheeses, actually, I couldn't really, I mean, I'm sure they played a role in the flavor profile, but they weren't. Puzzy, when he first saw that there was 3 cheese layers, he's like, that's too much cheese. I don't think it ends up being too much cheese, Puzzy Cat. I can appreciate why you said that, and in theory, you should have been right. But the cheese wasn't that overwhelming of a flavor, mostly because the Big Arch sauce was so overwhelming of a flavor. Now, I'm also not going to lie. This was one of the best put together, prettiest burgers I have ever gotten out of a fast food place. I mean, like, for real, let's look at this, right? Well, that's not pretty, but that's a pretty nice looking burger here, a little bit closer. Look, the box is clean. It's all stacked properly. That's how it came. And then, that's one bite in. You can see that the burgers are stacked nicely on top of one another. You can see that the toppings are evenly toppinged. I realize these are really silly things to point out, but at the same time, you do understand that as a drive-through burger doesn't always have things so neatly stacked, right? I got this, I think, on, let's see here. I think I got this, on the second or third day that they were officially available. So I have a feeling if I buy this burger 2 weeks from now, it's not going to be nearly as good. It's not going to be nearly as pretty. I obviously have no proof of this, but I have gotten the impression over my years that when something new is introduced to a fast food restaurant, the first week or so, they make sure that every single one of those new burgers looks good, tastes good, is made properly, that goes out the restaurant, because they know that this is the first impression that the customer is going to have of that burger. Once people have a positive first impression and come back later, say in a couple weeks, things get a little sloppier. Things aren't maybe as good. Things aren't maybe as fresh. Things aren't maybe as blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So I have a feeling that this burger is probably not going to remain as good as it was when I got it. However, I will say this, and this probably shouldn't change no matter how long, no matter when you order it. Those crispy onions really are a major part of the texture and flavor profile. And those crispy onions really are a nice touch. So will I order it again? Probably in a couple weeks, just to test my theory. Would I order it again outside of that realm? Probably not, because A, it's too big of a burger for me at one point. If I was to buy a burger there knowing, oh, I'll eat half of it now and I'll save the other half for later, yeah, I'd probably do that, but I generally don't go to the fast food for thinking like that. But it is a tasty burger. It is a little bit expensive, but you're getting, everything is expensive these days, and you're getting a lot of food. Like I said, I ate it over 2 meals, so there you go. And Rick, I might actually clip this review and make it a YouTube short. And is it better than a Baconator? You know, Terry, that's such a good question, and the Baconator is actually the perfect example of what I'm talking about. In regards to when the burger first came out, they made it perfect and beautiful and lovely and right. But as the years went on and people were willing to get a little lazy with the production, Baconator's good, but Baconator's good, but actually I do, honestly, I can't actually tell you if it's better or not, because they're 2 different animals. First off, there's no bacon on the Big Arch. So if you're going for the Baconator, you're already going in a different flavor profile direction, And then the Baconator also, what I think is wonderful about the Baconator is it's very simple. It's mayonnaise, it's ketchup, it's bacon, it's cheese, it's meat, and that's about all it is. This is the opposite of simple. This has got a fancy sauce, it's got lettuce, it's got pickles, it's got 2 kinds of onions, it's got 3 layers of cheese, it's a totally different scenario, you know? Both are, now, better can't say. Do I get a Baconator when I go to Wendy's? Yes, I do. If I go to McDonald's, will I get a big arch? Yeah, maybe so. So they're both quite delicious, actually, in their own way. And Terry, crispy onions are standard side of the road burgers in the UK. We don't really have a lot of burgers that standard come with the crispy onions. And you know, if that's standard for UK burgers, I gotta tell you, this reputation of the UK having bad food is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker, because if crispy onions are standard on a UK burger, explain to me how that's bad. Explain to me how that cuisine's not delicious. All right, so I know, like, usually our chatter doesn't go into heavy topics like war, but I thought that this particular war was important enough to make an exception for. So, the Burger Wars of 2026 are hot and they're heated. And let's see here, Terry in Scotland, burger vans in the UK. We don't really have burger vans here. We have taco trucks. Always serve up fried onions on a beef patty in a bun, and that's it. That sounds like a pretty good burger, dude. I really enjoy a simple burger. I'm all about a simple burger, and that actually doesn't sound bad at all. Picola T, Carl's Jr., Hardee's had a Western burger that had onion rings inside. Those were tasty. Yes, and you know what? The onion ring in the burger, that is pretty common. In fact, Jack in the Box right now has a burger called the Hot Mess, and it's a sourdough burger with this creamy white cheese sauce, jalapenos, and onion rings. And so the onion rings are definitely a common thing here. But these aren't onion rings. These are like, you know, the crispy onions that you put on top of your green bean casserole in Thanksgiving. You know, the crispy onions. And that is, like I said, it was definitely part of the texture and flavor profile of the Big Arch. And remember also, the Big Arch, basically, if you're at all familiar with the burger lineup at McDonald's, their quarter pounder with cheeses have a distinct kind of onion, which is different than the onions that they have on, say, their cheeseburgers. The cheeseburgers have really tiny, finely diced onions, whereas the quarter pounder with cheeses have slivered onions that are raw. And so the slivered onions that are raw are also on the Big Arch, but they also have the crispy onion. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really notice the slivered onion flavor, because, like I said, the Arch sauce was so tangy. But I did notice the crispy onion flavor, and very tasty, very, very tasty. And Shock, you miss onion rings. Shock, is there any way we can make like a cornmeal, cornstarch, something can we make a gluten-free onion ring? Would you be able to eat that? I understand that onions and breaded onions are, of regardless the breading, are high in carbs, and I know that sugars are not good for you, but do you think we could somehow make like a cornstarch, cornmeal thing or something? I don't miss them enough to do that much work. Okay, all right, there you go. And yeah, Picola Tea, after Thanksgiving, you will use up the leftover fried onions on salads, sandwiches, etc. Really amps up the flavor. I think that the salads, that's like sort of a logical, I could totally see that happening. But honestly, dude, putting them in sandwiches or on a hamburger literally never crossed my mind before. Not once. And Darlene, I'm not a fan of raw onions on my burger, preferably fried, or the onion rings. Yes, exactly. And Puzzycat, you use pancake batter for onion rings. Yeah, that sounds good. And especially since pancake batter usually has just a hint of sweetness. But unless it's gluten-free, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's how that works. Unless it is gluten-free, I don't think Shock is available to eat the pancake battered onion rings. And so, let's see here. Before McDonald's arrived in the UK, the only place to get a burger was Wimpy's. There were Wimpy's everywhere. They were fried onions, beef, patty, bun. That sounds delicious. And Picolati, I think tempura batter has something other than rice flour in it, if I remember correctly. I looked at that when I was really strictly gluten-free. I could be making that up. My memories are definitely pliable, but I feel like tempura batter does have a little bit of flour in it. That being said, I don't know what I'm talking about always, and now might be one of those times. But yeah, fried onions, beef patty, bun, sign me the heck up, man. And if I went to Wimpy's and said to them, I will gladly take a burger today if you let me pay you on Tuesday, and I wonder if they would let me do that. Probably not. And yeah, exactly. Darlene's asking a really good question, Terry. What burger place do you prefer? The Burger Vans, the Wimpy's, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, the something or others? Now, Terry, you had an opinion on the Big Arch sauce, so I'm going to assume, Terry, did you, have you tried the Big Arch? And, Terry, let's see here. I like Burger King's Aberdeen Angus Burger. Okay, I can tell you right now, Terry, we don't have that here. At least not under that name. What is on an Aberdeen Angus burger? Out of curiosity, I just would love to know. Because I really... Seriously, y'all, I mean, this should come as no shock to you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I love hamburgers. They're one of my favorite foods. I also love having a runny nose, yeah, with drips coming out of my nose live on the live stream. I love that too. Not as much as I love burgers, though. But yes, if you can, Terry, please let us know what is in an Aberdeen Angus burger. Or maybe should I say Aberdeen? Or that's not how you say it in Scotland. And are my allergies kicking in? You know, Darlene, that is a good question. The weather is nice enough that could be an option. In fact, you know, I might have to I might have to start digging into my allergy pills, my antihistamine pills. These antihistamine pills, by the way, are the identical pills as Benadryl, with Benadryl allergy pills with no dyes. You know, the gel cap that Benadryl might have. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the Benadryl pills that look exactly like this. Only, if you buy the Benadryl brand, you have to buy 12 of them at a time for like about $8. I spent about $6 on 100 of them, Walgreens brand. So if suddenly in the next couple days you see me on a live stream and I'm all yawning and tired and not itching, that's because I've started taking my Benadryl pills. All right, so 2 patties of Aberdeen Angus beef with 2 slices of cheese and some other stuff. All right, well, you know, some other stuff, that's what probably makes it the Aberdeen Angus burger. And that was kind of the part that I was really looking forward to hearing, dude. And Terry says that the Wendy's is very popular here. The Brits are going gaga over the Baconator. Dude, I have a friend, his name is Baconator. That's his roller derby name. And he loves the Baconator so much that he has a tattoo of it on his thigh. Okay? So, if you think that If you think that the Brits are gaga over the Baconator, I know somebody who's even more so. But yeah, Bacola tea for real. You spent 1/3 the cost of Benadryl for a bottle of 200 tablets at Costco. Exactly. So for real, if you guys are starting to get allergies, because it sounds like in Pussycat's area, the allergies are up. It sounds like in Darlene's area that the allergies might be on the verge of being up. Yeah. Grab yourself some fake Benadryls. And if you're telling me, I can't take the Benadryls, it makes me too tired, well then I'm going to tell you against all better medical advice, take a Sudafed with it. That way you've got an upper and a downer, and your allergies have no chance. It's what I call my allergy speedball, and I have no idea if it's safe or not, but I've been using it for decades now. And for real, you take a Sudafed and a Benadryl, and one goes you up, one goes you down, and you're perfectly fine. And as Shock says, you can die the same way as Elvis. Exactly. And I have a fine layer of pollen on my car every morning, and I have to hose it down before I go. Right, yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know if I've got a fine layer of pollen or just a whole lot of tree sap on my car. Anyway, what I do know is, as Shock pointed out, it is time for our musical interlude, and actually, technically speaking, we are 1 minute late. So, we're going to listen to some Lono. And before you ask, no, he does not have a song about hamburgers. Okay? He does not have a song about hamburgers. And this song has nothing to do with the topics at hand. So, let's listen to some Lono.
My Hawaiian town, oh yeah. I met a guy who seemed quite surprised. He met a girl from Molokai. Talked about hunting, talked about fishing, talk about their lives. When 25 turned to 35, then 50 years went by. Kids are all gone and the grandkids are calling, 'cause they would like to stop by. Well, that's how it is in a little town underneath a moonless night. We're living in my Hawaiian town. Yeah, living in my Hawaiian town. Did some time in Kalua Koi, Kai Ko'o Eke Puhi Beach. Crashing waves at Kayaka Rock, so beautiful to me. Spend the night on a moonless beach, stars all caressing me. Sound of the surf in the old style, so musical to me. Well, that's how it is in a little town underneath a moonless night. We're living in my Hawaiian town. Oh, living in my Hawaiian town. Did some time in Kalua Koi, Kai Ko'o Eke Puhi Beach. Crashing waves at Kayaka Rock, so beautiful to me. Spend the night on a moonless beach, stars all caressing me. Sound of the surf in the old style, so musical to me. Well, that's how it is in a little town underneath the moonlit sky. We're living in my Hawaiian town. Oh, living in my Hawaiian we're living in my Hawaiian town. Oh, living in my Hawaiian town. Oh, living in my Hawaiian town. Oh, living in my Hawaiian town. My Hawaiian
All right, so there you go. That's how it is. And you know, another thing that is what it is in Lono's Hawaiian Town, one burger joint, Molokai Burger, one burger joint. So look, he can be eating his burger in his Hawaiian Town, but if he sings about a Hawaiian burger in his Hawaiian Town, everybody knows what burger he's talking about, so it better be nice singing, or else he ain't singing no song at all, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that is a tiny little island, and they know where he lives. All right, so there we have it. That is Lono music from Molokai, and it was brought to my attention by someone who I know at the bar, and for those of you who are maybe lurking in the background, I want to thank you for hanging out here. And even if you're not saying anything, I do appreciate that you are part of this community, and I hope that you will eventually, join in. But for everybody who might be new to this community and might wonder, why is this white girl talking about Hawaii all the time? Like, what is the deal with that? She lives in Seattle. What? These are good questions. And to answer them, I was born in Hawaii. I lived there for a little while, and my soul belongs to the Aina. And basically, the reason why I'm live streaming is because of this gentleman named Andy Bumatai. Andy Bumatai is a famous Hawaiian comedian who used to live stream on a daily basis. And Andy Bumatai is where most of us here kind of coalesced and originally met during the COVID era. And as life evolves, etc., Andy has since moved on beyond daily streaming, although he still has a prolific YouTube presence. Definitely check him out. He is the reason why I'm doing my live stream. And because we all have the Hawaiian connection, because I still have my heart in Hawaii, we do a lot of Hawaiian stuff here. We try to live the spirit of aloha. We try not to talk too many, too poorly about things and stuff. Although if it's not a good burger, I'll let you know. Either way, and at Kolati, yeah, many of us have actually met in real life too. So I can see and appreciate why, if you are a lurker, you're like, I don't really know. These people seem to know each other. We do, and we want to know you too. And if I know you in real life, that's okay, man. You're not coming in and ruining the vibe with reality, because you won't be the first person that I knew in real life that has come on my live stream. I don't think the lurker has said anything yet, and frankly, I'm not sure he's even going to be watching this particular stream, because he and his lovely wife are going to be going to Portugal for the next 2 weeks, and I have no idea if they actually have time to watch this in prepping for their trip. I think they're leaving on Monday, so who's to say? He might be watching this, he might not. If you're watching it, you know who you is, And I'd be super stoked if you said hello, but no worries if you can't. Anyway, it just occurred to me that people who haven't hung out here don't necessarily understand what's going on here. And that's what's going on here. We're people, some of us live in Hawaii, some of us do not live in Hawaii, who just like to share the spirit of aloha. And let's see here. Yamamoto-san 8096, good to see you. I don't know. Hey, Chatter with Statter. I don't know if this is the person I'm particularly referring to because I don't know. But Yamamoto-san, fairly certain this is not the person that I'm talking about, actually, that from my bar at Waku. Super stoked to see Yamamoto-san. And Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday, you saw Andy shows because of me. He has great insight and he is super funny. Exactly. In fact, I'm thinking about incorporating some clips from Andy. I'm going to talk to him about this before I do this, although he has previously given me verbal permission to use some of his clips. But honestly, his Daily Pigeon from way back in the day, when the whole point of the Daily Pigeon was learning the little bits of Pigeon, I'm thinking I might bring back some of his Daily Pigeon lessons just to help everybody learn Pigeon a little bit, because Pigeon is an actual official language. But one thing that I do know is Andy Bumatai, in theory, should be posting a live stream about once a month. At this point, I'm looking in the direction of C. Honda, who probably isn't here, Shakalak, who is here, and anybody else who might know. Do we know if and when Andy will be planning on streaming anytime in March or April? Because if we do, I want to pimp it out. I want to mark it on my calendar. Mark it on my calendar. And I just want to make sure I'm there. And I want to make sure everybody who wants to know about it is there as well. Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday, super stoked that you are here. Super stoked that Yamamoto-san is here. And super stoked that everybody else who normally chitter chatters is here chattering as well. Because we cannot have a chatter show without chatter. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could probably sit here and talk for an hour and a half, but actually, I don't know if I could. Anyway, so, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday, I've never been to Hawaii, but Mrs. A was born there, and Mrs. A remembers him from years ago when she grew up there. My soul is Hawaiian, I think, says Mr. Aloha Friday. Exactly. Sometimes. Now, as Shock pointed out, Andy is regularly dropping YouTube videos, not lives, but actual YouTube videos, and you should definitely check them out. They're cute little stories, they're cute little roundabouts in the town, they're this, that, and the other thing. He's regularly posting stuff on his YouTube, so by all means, go check Andy Bumatai out. But his live streams are really what brought this community together. As Yamamoto-san just said, Andy helped us get through COVID. Literally, in, I believe it was April of 2020, so just barely a month and a half into the lockdown, he accidentally went online streaming, and he ended up streaming daily for over 500 days. I'm going to say probably closer to 600 days. I don't think he hit the 600 mark, but I think he got closer to 600 than 500. 500 for certain. He hit the 500 mark. There is no two ways about that. So it was really thanks to Andy that this community was built. This community was forged and grown. And now that Andy's not doing his live stream on a weekly, daily, or anything, or even monthly basis, we still hang out in certain spots. This is a spot. Photoluke Hawaii is a spot. Terry in Scotland is a spot. There's all sorts of little spots that we hang out in. And let's see here. Puzzycat, I thought Andy's been doing motorcycle rides in Hawaii. Yes. The focus of most of his downloads, or his uploads, right now are motorcycle rides. Because he's been a motorcycle rider his whole entire life. And then also he is a stand-up comedian. And so, as Rick pointed out, he just had a live gig in Hilo last weekend. And he usually slows the YouTube posts slows them down when he does do that. That is also true. And so, so for those of you who might be lurking, and wondering, why is this white girl all Hawaiian, pretending to whateverness and stuff? I'm not pretending. It is who I is. And we are who we are. And we try to live the aloha spirit, even if we're on the continental United States. So there you go. That's that. That's my excuse for me being me, and how we got here, and what the flying fork is going on. And by the way, if you are on the Twitch side, you want to get some emotes that you can. Oops, I didn't want to cheer. I wanted to emotify. We've got a haha emote from Nelson. We've got what else do we have here? Our emotes. We've got our Prel dots. That's what we want to wash somebody's mouth out with soap. And then let's see here. We've got one that I get on a lot. We've got ourselves a soapbox. That's right. And then let's see, what else do we have? Well, we got a lot of things, but I think my next favorite one is this one. Because we're half fast. Exactly, Rick. That's my next favorite one. That's my next favorite one. Half fast. Because we're half fast sometimes. And Pussycat, all motorcycles are comedians on the road down here in Bike Week. That's right. And for those of you who don't know, Pussycat is our very own Florida man. He keeps us up to date on all of the things going up in the sky and all of the bikes rolling on the ground and all of the hurricanes coming in off the sea. And he also keeps us up to date on his dog Kylo and his fishies in his pondy ponds. So let's see here. Terry in Scotland throwing down all of the emotes that he has access to. We've got our flying forks. We've got our crazy cats. We've got our bees. I love the little bees. We have our rolling of the eyes. We've got our Prel dots. We've got a lot of flowers. We've got our zippies guy. We've got super stoked. We've got mahalo. We've got a happy little whale. I like the little happy whale. It's a happy whale. And let's see here, Pussycat throwing down all of his emotes as well. And it's the last day of Bike Week, apparently. So only so many more biker comedians on the road in his neck of the woods for the upcoming immediate future, that is. But he already lives very close to where a lot of bikes always happen anyway. So there's going to be comedian bikers on the road almost all year round, I'm guessing. Also, another thing that Pussycat does is he lets us know when there's fancy pants races going on in his neck of the woods, because his son actually is part of the whole NASCAR circuit kind of thing, I think. Is it NASCAR? Yeah, it's NASCAR, right? He's fancy. His son is a fancy mechanic who does fancy mechanic stuff. He's like in the big league. His son is a NFL player of mechanics. Like, he's in the big leagues. Okay, I realize that the NFL isn't really considered the big leagues. That's more of a baseball term. But then again, we're talking about racing anyway, so whatever. Yeah, Pussycat is proud of his son, as well he should be, because he is a professional. That's right. Your son is a professional engineer. There you go. Exactly. Not the kind on a train. The kind on a racetrack. And I think that's kind of cool. Okay, so that's what Pussycat's got to offer, or his son has to offer. Pussycat has commentary and dogs to offer, which is wonderful. And Darlene, the flying fork, Prel, the half-fast, so many cute, cool emotes. I do like the soapbox too. Yes, I do. The soapbox actually I kind of like because it was one of my first emotes that I designed myself. And yeah, there's problems with it. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't know how to use any of these graphic design tools or programs. I was proud of my little soapbox. I was also proud of my little honeybees, and I was proud of my Zippy, the burger boy, because I actually did create those and modified them to make them my own. But the soapbox comes in the most handy. There's no two ways about it. I dare say that the soapbox is probably one of the most, if not the most used emote on this stream. I may or may not get on a soapbox now and again. And Terry in Scotland, you made a beaded necklace last night after finding the perfect size beads. Perfect. Terry, careful. Oh, careful. Beads will put you into debt. If you go down the beaded hole the way all of my friends and my sister went down the beaded hole, you're gonna spend a lot of money, man. You're gonna spend a lot of money. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the money you spend. But beads, once you start seeing, you need all of them. Once you see what's out there, you need them all. You have to have that one in red. Oh my God, but did you see it in blue? Well, I better get it in blue. Oh my God, did you see that one? Well, maybe, yeah, but is it, oh my God, did you see the crystals? Did you see the crystals? Yeah. And, yes, exactly. I've been known to go on a rant every now and again. Exactly. That's why we have the soapbox, y'all. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I don't really have anything to rant about right now. So I'm very curious, you guys. What do we want to chitter chatter about her? What do we want to chitter chatter about? Do we want to talk about shoelaces? Actually, you know what? Shoelaces. Here we go. Do your children's children, your grandkids, do they know how to tie their shoes? Do they know how to tie their shoes? Because when I was a kid, Velcro shoes came into play. And ever since then, it seems like kids are not really always learning to tie their own shoes. Or they're getting older and older and older before they're learning to tie their shoes. And I'm beginning to wonder if that is a skill that's just going to be lost entirely. And the reason why I wonder that is so many shoes, including the ones I currently wear, are slip-on. Even if they have shoelaces on them, the shoelaces aren't meant to be tied. The shoes are designed with the laces, but boom, you just slide in. And I got to thinking, as I was looking at my unlaced shoes, which, by the way, they're supposed to be unlaced. The laces are not even long enough to lace them. And it occurred to me that there's becoming less and less of a need to learn how to tie your shoe. And Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday, my shoes tie, but they slip on, tie it once and forget it. That's actually usually... That's usually my other running shoes, my Hokas that actually do have laces that are big enough to tie. I tied them once and then I slip them on and off. Exactly. And it's these things that I'm sort of thinking, like, is one day are the kids not going to know how to tie a shoe? Because, and it seems like a big deal, but on the other hand, if you think about it, like, I don't, and you probably don't know how to tie a lot of knots. Knots that were very commonplace to know how to tie it during, say, horse riding days or boating eras, right? And so it's so really, like, tying your shoes is just one less knot to forget. And we've already forgotten so many, so why does it matter? But these are just things I started, thinking about. And Picola T, lost skills. Well, don't even get me started on handwriting. I can hardly decipher the grandkids' writing because everything is on a keyboard now. Absolutely. And yeah, and the Velcro has been around for a long, long time. And even bows for presents are pre-made. Now I'm sad. And let's see here. Now that winter's over, it's back to flip-flops. Right, there you go. Yamamoto-san, you have Skechers. I have slip-on Skechers as well. And I love my slip-on Skechers. In fact, I don't think I'm ever going to change my shoe brand unless Skechers makes me. The shoes that I am currently wearing are some of my favorite shoes that I've ever had. And they're slip-on. They look like they're supposed to be laced. Cola T's here talking about people can't write. I'm over here not able to talk. But anyway. And as far as and Picola T, as far as your kids not being able to write or your grandkids not being able to write because everything's on the keyboard now, serious as a heart attack. I can't write anymore. I knew how to write. I know how to write. but I will try to write like a paragraph or something handwritten, and 3 sentences into it, my hand is tired. My letters are all a conky. I'm half cursive, half right. Like, I can't even write anymore. I'm so used to typing that even though I have the skill, and I, trust me, have spent hours upon hours, pen or pencil in hand, writing. I know how to write. Not anymore. I've totally lost the skill. And you finally bought some, or I bought some real shoes yesterday after having your feet analyzed by Fleet Feet Richmond. I told the lady I could never get women's shoes in my size or close enough. Sure enough, I wound up with a pair of men's. At least they're black and were on clearance. That is perfect. And Pacola T, you have a story about Fleet Feet? Okay. And let's see here. And I had a good experience, says Pacola T, or says Shock. And Puzzycat, I'm usually barefoot and don't need any shoes unless I go somewhere. I can appreciate that. Socks are generally a burden to my feet, as are most shoes. But lately I've noticed that knee socks don't bother my feet nearly as much as crew socks or footy socks do. And let's see here, Mama Sean, you wear halflinger clogs if it gets cool down here, and Birkenstock sandals the rest of the time. What is this thing called laces of which you speak? Oh, that's funny. And let's see here. But they had a lady who had lost some of her soul. She really thought I'd be exaggerating. Oh, right. Yeah. And Terry, you can't wear tight socks. Well, the socks that I wear are not compression socks. They're called stretchy socks, and they stretch a lot. So I think you might be able to wear the socks that I wear on my feetsies. And yes, socks are for cold weather only. I agree, which is why I like the knee socks, because they keep my entire calf warm. And knee socks, my knee socks they fit good enough, well enough that they don't slide off my feet. They don't slide down, and they don't crumple up in the shoe. They stay put, and I like that. And let's see here, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha. Okay, I'm going to try these words again. Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday says, we don't make butter, we can't tell time on the analog clock. I can tell time on the analog clock, and I do make butter. I don't make butter very often, but I do know how to make butter. And did everyone reset the clocks in their car today or on the microwave? No, I did not, because I do not have a microwave, and I haven't been in my car yet today. And let's see here. What do we got? We got Cola Tea. We're browsing there one day. Mr. P picked up balls on the table and he was tossing them up in the air. Salesperson got uncomfortable with this. Turns out they were meant to demonstrate. All right, so let me. Cola Tea telling an embarrassing story. Mr. P picked up balls on the table and was tossing them up in the air. Salesperson got very uncomfortable with this. Turns out they were meant to demonstrate cup size for sports bras. Awkward. Yeah, exactly. Also, it's funny. And then let's see here. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, Terry, I see you got the beads. Yeah, those are nice beads, wooden beads. Yes, beautiful. That's nice. That's a good little pattern that you got there going on. Yes, indeedly do. All right, I clicked the link. If you click the link that Terry in Scotland posted many ups ago, it's Terry in his beautiful necklace. And let's see here. Oh my goodness, Puzzy, you're expected to be in the upper 80s from now until the 90s. Return in the summer. Oh. So March, April, May, June. So at least 3 months of 80s, but most likely, no, at least 4 months of 80s, but most likely only 3. And then it's just gonna get hotter. Oh, Puzzy, you're built differently than me. You're built differently than me. It's your normal temperatures. Yes, that's right. It's still different. It's still different. And your husband went haywire and planted a bunch of stuff today. Oh, well, you know what that means, Shock, right? That means it's going to get wintry again in your neck of the woods. Because that's what would happen here. Because late February or late March is when when winter decides to say, you know, I still own this. And late March in the Pacific Northwest, I know that March is the saying is supposed to be in like a lion, out like a lamb, but not in the Pacific Northwest. It is oftentimes in like a lamb, out like a lion. Sometimes it snows in April. And so, I definitely feel like Shock's husband has just created a winter monster in Virginia. Just so you know. And 76 in your house, Pussycat. Oh my God, I would die. That is so hot. Puzzy, you know what I do? I leave my back door open all night, and when I wake up in the morning, you know how hot my house is? It's 54 degrees. 54 degrees inside my house when I wake up in the morning. And I like it like that. It makes me happy. I can't even imagine trying to sleep in 76 weather. Oh, I am just not built like that. Let's see here, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday. I used to live in South Texas. There was 3 seasons: early summer, summer, and late summer. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. And Darlene, you've been having nicer weather the last couple days. Unusual for here at this time. Exactly. 60s and a 70-degree day coming up. Wow. But then dropping down to the 50s, more seasonal for sure. Exactly. Yeah, it hit 60 a couple weeks ago here in Seattle. That was quite nice, but it's basically just been in the 45s. Although, oh, wait, hold on. I think right now it's 51 degrees here. No, it's 45 degrees here as well, Terry. It's very strange how Terry in Scotland and Mad Statter in Seattle oftentimes have identical temperatures at the time of streaming, but it is 45 degrees in Scotland right now, and it is 45 degrees at my house. Not in my house, at my house in Burien. And let's see here. Wore a fleece pullover and was sweating. San Francisco has blue skies, sunny and warm today. What? Oh, that is kind of weird, because San Francisco normally, like if you were in Oakland, I wouldn't be surprised, because Oakland is so much warmer than San Francisco. But San Francisco is usually a little bit chilly, a little bit foggy, a little bit chilly, just a little bit on the side. And so, wow, it's actually kind of cold for once in actual San Francisco. And can I see Russia from my backyard? No, I cannot. I can, however, see the highway from my backyard. The highway that runs next to my house, I can see that. All right. So, whoa, no. So Pussycat's bringing me the reality of realities. It's spring break next week. Oh my God. How did it get to be spring break already? I know I sound like an old lady. Get off my lawn. But, oh my God, how did it get to be spring break already? That's so crazy. Time, it just goes faster as you get older, I guess. My oh my. And, yeah, Shock, I'm going out of town tomorrow because it's spring break. Okay, see, there you go. And Pussycat, it never stops here. I just was kind of in denial that it was March already, and then I kind of forgot what March actually means, i.e. spring break. So when I get reminders about reality, sometimes it's a harsh toke, man. It's a harsh toke of reality. And yeah, Daytona is a tourist destination for all sorts of reasons. Cars, motorcycles, spring breaks. It seems like, yeah, you're the destination for the past month or so, Puzzy. It seems like Daytona has just been getting filled with visitors. Robert Platinum, good to see you. Hellos, everyone. Hellos. And let's see here. Darlene, your grandkids at their school are having a week of spring break at the end of March, beginning of April. See, Darlene, that is more to me when spring break should be happening. I get so confused when I hear that spring break is happening in early March, but apparently a lot of colleges do it that way. So, okay, there you have it, Rabbit. There you have it. And let's see here. Robert Platinum, I feel like I've seen you here before. I don't remember if I have, but I feel like I have. So thank you so much for popping in, and thank you so much for coming back if you are coming back. And I feel like we've seen you here before. So thank you for coming back and not getting us scared. Not getting us scared away. And let's see here. Tourist boards set up the spring break schedules. They do? Really? I mean, I feel like you're being cynical, Rick, but I also feel like you might not be being cynical. Okay, cool. You have been here before. That's what I thought. And let's see here. With college out on break, I don't have to teach on Monday through Thursday, so you can travel. Oh, that's why you're going someplace. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right, well, we've got a couple minutes left, so I thought I would show you this this very quick and cute little news clip. And since we're heading into spring, this quick and cute little news clip is going to be out of season very, very soon. However, some places, I'm sure, still require some beanies, still require some little hats, right? So, all right, Quality, time to head to the gate. See you later. Thank you so much for swinging by and hanging out as long as you can. You almost got to the end of the show. So you guys, I'm going to show you this little video. This video, I do believe actually takes place at an elementary school in Washington State. And here in Washington State, these kids might still need their little hats. So, check out what this teacher did in this elementary school. And I got to tell you, man, I wish and hope that more teachers had the capability to do this for their students, because first off, it costs some money and not everybody has a hookup to get this kind of thing done. But yeah, check out this little story, okay? It filled my heart with happiness.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, are we ready to start? Yeah. Okay.
At Wallace Elementary in Kelso,
Let's do our sounds.
teacher Ashley Lowry is a bit of a magician today,
Cage. Pull it apart. Get ready.
transforming these young minds
Good job, friends.
into tomorrow's leaders.
I always just have my theme be establish a love of learning. B.
Lines become letters,
Let me see those letters.
which sounded together form words. All this learning before morning recess.
Eyes forward. Voices off. Walking feet.
And as they play outside, they don't realize inside is when all the magic today really happens.
And Micah, Jeffrey.
Before winter break, Ashley's Aunt Amy had an idea.
What if we created our own hats?
So I'd seen the idea and thought, in the middle of winter, it'd be a great project.
The kids colored their own hat ideas, solid colored stripes. That was just a simple art project to the students.
I definitely saw kids who were like really excited about patterns. So you'll see kids that had like a nice repeating pattern.
But behind the scenes, Amy had a plan all along. Take those coloring sheets and sew together each hat just as the kids had drawn them.
I guess I didn't realize 22 hats was going to take as long as it did, but we managed.
With recess over, it was time for the big reveal.
Who remembers doing these? Raise your hand if you remember doing them. I do.
After reading a book called Extra Yarn, Mrs. Lowry had a surprise.
Go to your desk and sit down. I might do a little magic in here.
And like any good magician, she never reveals the trick, keeping the magic alive for the students in her class.
Let's say magic, magic. Drum roll. Open your drawers.
One by one, they opened their drawers to reveal their art project brought to life.
Red, orange, yellow, green, and purple.
Colors they chose for each stripe.
Because those are my favorite colors in the world.
And what was in their imagination,
It's white because I kind of like white and it's my favorite color.
now in their hands.
Yellow, purple, red, orange.
And on their heads.
I was just thrilled that everybody was so excited, and it looked like they're really going to enjoy the efforts.
There was a bit of magic today at Wallace Elementary, except there were no tricks. Just a treat for everyone.
Hello.
They love accessories, so I'm really excited to see these hats bouncing around. I think they'll love it, and just that pride, and it's something that they made.
In Kelso, Washington, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
Alrighty, so I thought that was just the cutest little magic trick that a teacher could do. And, you know, this is something that obviously you can't expect a teacher to do. If she doesn't have a hookup to somebody who knows how to crochet, then it ain't happening. But imagine as a little kid, you know, you don't even know that you're doing this. You have this, you just get to color your own dream hat, right? That's fun in and of itself. And then later on, boom, you end up with the hat that you drew, and it's so neat. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that there are going to be some parents to some students who aren't going to be super stoked about how this gift was given, you know, the whole magic thing, because some parents get a little upset about that. But whatever. I think it's the cutest and the sweetest gift a teacher could have given her students. And I love how some of the students, you know, one of them just wanted it all blue, one of them just wanted it all white, you know, every pattern, every kid had their different idea of what would be their perfect hat. And and then they got their hat. And so, and I remember correctly, this was a school out of Washington State, down town off of I-5 called Kelso. It's right next to another town called Longview. In fact, oftentimes they're called Longview Kelso, just sort of as one thing. And anyway, I just wanted to share with you that beautiful and cute story. I've been holding on to it for a couple weeks now. First off, I wasn't sure if we were ever going to have time to talk about it. Second off, I actually was hoping that Cindy Krause would be here when we talked about this, because Cindy Krause, a member of this community, she is a seamstress. She went to work. She used to work in textiles. She would be somebody who could get this done for an entire class in 5 seconds. Like, she knows. She could get this done. And so I was hoping that she could see this and maybe have it sparkle and sprinkle an idea in her head for her own grandkids, etc. But I do happen to know what Cindy Krause's email address is, so maybe I'll whisper it in her ear to begin with. And let's see here. All right, so what? Oh, okay. I'm getting the impression, Mr. Platinum, that ninja is not actually what you were called. I get that. Yeah, no, that's messed up. Well, what even brought that comment out? I mean, I don't mind the commentary, but like, yeah, that is effed up, dude. Especially since in school, I mean, I don't know what kind of dance it was, but I know that like in elementary and in junior high, we had square dancing, and like you had to get paired up with somebody, and then throughout the dance you switched pairs. So I mean, whatever. But I mean, it's just like dancing might be part of the curriculum. Yeah, no, that's not effing cool at all. And yeah, Well, you know, it's amazing that some parents aren't invested enough in learning stuff either. that was messed up. So let's see here. Pussycat coming in with the 2-minute warning, which that was true 2 minutes ago or a minute ago, but now it's just a 1-minute warning, which means we've got which means we've got 1 more minute for me to screw things up. Let's go out the way we went in. Achoo, achoo, achoo. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out today, because I don't even know. What? You had to dance by yourself? That is even... What? I would throw this coffee cup, except for it's got coffee in it, and I don't want to have to clean that up. So we'll just leave it at that. But that is effed up. It's flying forkin'. Flying forkin' effed up is what that is. Oh, god dang it. Why won't it post? Flying forkin' effed up is what that is. So, on that note, don't be flying forkin' messed up, and go make a funny hat. Okay, that didn't even, they're totally not related, but either way, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I want to thank all the folks who came in to chitter chatter a little bit about anything and everything. I want to thank all the moderators who had to moderate. I don't think they had to moderate except for me, but that's nothing unusual. And there we go. So thank you, bitty bittiers. Thank you, subby subbiers. Thank you for everyone who's hanging out and chattering, because like I said, can't have a chatter show without the chatter. Hopefully we will see each other Wednesday, 5 p.m. West Coast time. That's 5 p.m. West Coast time. Even though the times got all cockily-wumpily, it's 5 p.m. West Coast time and 5 p.m. Arizona time. If you're in Arizona, 5 p.m. All right, you guys, see each other hopefully on Wednesday. Thanks so much for happening, and no action needed today from the Sword of No Mercy, which is always a good thing. Take care. Hope you enjoy your week. See you on Wednesday.